Good morning, lads, laddies, everybody, and happy holidays. Now, you might be thinking to yourself right now, why is this man so handsome looking? Like, fully suited up? Again? Sheesh. What's the occasion? Well, friends, today is one of my favorite days of the year. That's right, it's Sunday. Just kidding. Sunday is actually kind of despicable, but what isn't despicable is a brand new, shiny, slimy slime farm. Oh, it's time. By the end of today's episode, we will have a brand new farm in our world, except this time, it actually won't be over here at the base. That is now, it's now almost like fully filled in and finished. It's pretty cool. Before we get into things, I'm working on something else, and today, I'd like to play a little game. What is your favorite farm to build in Minecraft? Let me know down below. Like I said, it's for something else I'm working on, so let me know, then sit back, relax, and enjoy, because survival time. So, before we can go over to the slime farm zone, I've got to collect the supplies. The supplies that I need to gather for today's build will have us running all around our world and maybe even getting a little nostalgic with like one of the first farms that we built in this world. It's got to be like a year old now. Wow. It's dusty. Just me or what, but I feel like I've changed how I play the game so much, like in just the small span of like since I built this farm. Wow. Anyways, emotions, that'll be enough. Landing over here inside of the storage building. When it comes to supplies, other than a fancy lime green shulker box for the slime, some building blocks to, actually be able to, build this build out of. A tiny bit of this cool amethyst glass. And then to finish things off, a couple other random supplies. When it comes to build materials, this should do it for the most part today. We'll need a little bit more, but it's a start. Frogs. Oh man, it was a process. We went like all over the world to find these sweet little frogs. Every single color of them too. Then, as you know, I remembered to build a build for the frogs. Well, anyways, when I found the frogs, I found a swamp. And this swamp biome is actually relatively close to our base. Now, by the time we're done with today's project, the goal is to hopefully link this thing up via the Nether, so it's even closer than just by air. But by air is definitely a possibility. I didn't write the coordinates down to this place, so hopefully I can remember it. I think it's like approximately this way, somewhere. All right, this looks familiar. Yes, there it is. I was going to say, this looks familiar. It's a little bit farther than I thought, but familiar. This will work. This swamp is essentially like the almost perfect candidate for this farm that we're going to build today. Maybe if we go out this way, it's a little bit flatter. The flatter, the better. And by water too. Oh, it's beautiful. It is actually like literally perfect. This swamp is big and it's great. This is where we begin today. The slime farm that we'll be building today asks but two things of us: to be inside of a swamp and be on the surface inside of a swamp. That's right. There's no need to go all the way down below and like do chunk mining or anything like that, because chunk mining is disgusting, especially in Minecraft 1.19, 1.18, since the world got deeper, there's a lot more digging. This design is a design you might recognize if you caught this tutorial of mine from a couple weeks ago. A couple weeks ago, after receiving requests for an updated slime farm tutorial for like, literally like a year. Like this was my last one for reference, long time. I guess actually not counting Minecraft guide episodes. Like I think there was one near the end of season 3, but like, anyways. A couple weeks ago, I got to designing. After messing around in a creative world for a while, I came up with a solution that I thought was kind of genius. We'll talk about that idea a little bit more later on though, because first things first, the trees. They have to go. As I slowly swim through the swampy water, from tree to tree, chopping them down, the trees, they fall. And speaking of fall, that's right, today's scent of the day. It being December now, and technically speaking, still fall in the northern hemisphere, yeah, it's been long enough since the fall part of fall. Fall came and went so quickly, and I missed it. So today's scent of the day is a candle called Crisp Fall Night, which, to be honest, doesn't really smell like fall at all. Bright and early next morning, after cutting down a lot of trees, I realized a big problem. So I brought a lot of building materials. However, I did not bring every single building material. You see, back over at the base, before taking on this project, I took a look at the dirt stockpile, and to be honest, I really just don't have that much extra dirt. If I want to build this build today, which I still do, I'm gonna need dirt. Technically not necessary here, but by taking a look around at the surroundings, I've decided that I think the best way to get the best rates here in this farm is going to be construct a platform in the middle of this body of water, right here. Step 1 for this wonderful farm, locate the middle of the farm, which I think in our case could maybe be like, I don't know, maybe right there. It feels like it could be a good middle. We need it to be fully in the biome, though. It's a little close, but I think we'll have room. We'll build this platform one block lower so it's even with the water. From this middle block, a couple things are going to need to happen. The first things first, a slab. Second thing second, we're going to need to fill in land. We're going to go 4 blocks out like that. That's going to be the gap, and then this is going to be the border right there. Small problem. Well, actually, a couple small problems. Problem number 1 is going to be fire. We're going to have lava, uncontained or, well, actually, contained. Definitely contained lava inside of this farm, and the lava kind of likes to burn wool, so hopefully, I think I have an answer. I think I have the answer. Second here, for this design, we're gonna need to clear our water here, and I probably should have brought my sponges. I have so many sponges back over at the base, but not enough here. Anyways, though, we'll figure that out later. So next up, we need to build a spawning platform. That's gonna be 1, this is gonna be 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then finally 8. That's gonna be the dimension of the platform. And then the wall that I'm gonna build, it's gonna sit right there. Place a few blocks, go dig some more, and come back and place the rest. Then we end up with a platform that looks like this. In an attempt to avoid going back to the base of the second to get sponges to remove the water, let's put some walls over here. I designed this with fences, but I think in theory walls should work too. And speaking of walls, let's put the real walls on this thing. 1, 2, 3, 4. Please, wool, listen, please, you're my friend. Please don't burn when I put lava in this thing, please, okay? Please. Wow, I really didn't realize how many building blocks building this whole thing was going to take. I think I used up, like, all of my lime wool, or at least all of the lime wool that I brought over here. I definitely have more back over at the base, but wow, yeah, for the other chambers, I might have to switch things up a little bit. Good thing I had that wool farm. And finally, with that wretched rain gone, look, I'm no scientist here, definitely not, but what I was thinking I could do is probably build a rim of like solid, non-burnable blocks, and the ceiling's gonna sit up here. We'll go ahead and fill that in too, but I was thinking I could probably build a rim of non-burnable blocks, and then put tinted glass on the top of this thing. This stuff will never burn, right? Tinted glass up here so I can just like see if the farm is working, look into it a little bit. And then on the other side, we put the burnable stuff, the wool, and the lava's gonna be like way down there anyways, so please tell me this won't burn, right? Please, it won't, right? Whoa, that's like a super rare, right? A pink sheep. I was coming over here to get a little bit more stone because I ran out of that stuff, and well, my friend, well, you are maybe rare, and also I'm gonna have to place this down, and I don't have the right pickaxe. Dang. Well, you know, unfortunately, that might be a sign. That could be a sign that it's time to go back to the base, get those sponges, maybe get some more building blocks, and maybe even a little bit more wool too. Let's do this. Back over here at the build zone today, I've begun work on our second out of potentially up to 4 different models of this farm today. But it's time for something big. I came up with a good way to test the ceiling, or at least I think. So for this design, we're gonna need a little bit of lava, and when I was flying back over here the most recent time, I noticed this, so that's kind of perfect. This is gonna give us way more lava than we'll need. Inside of the actual farm itself, things are going pretty well. I'm starting to get the ceiling in, got the middle piece in, and then down here, when I was clearing out the water, I remembered how much removing water. Yeah, when I was taking this stuff out, I remembered how much it's just like a terrible thing, worst thing to do in the entire game, but the job is done. Now, this super simple lava blade trap. We're gonna put a fence gate right there, then we're gonna put a solid block right there, and then we're gonna do fence gates all the way around this thing. Because these are nether fence gates, these will never burn. It'll be perfect. I'll open them up, and then they're essentially invisible to everything. Go ahead and remove this block, swap it out for lava, which goes right there, and now the ceiling. I only started to put it in up there. I figured if it's gonna burn, it's gonna burn within like 3 blocks of that middle thing, right? And if it does end up burning, I just take it out and put slabs. No big deal. Technically cheaper anyways. Then down here, nothing's gonna burn. It's fine. So, with the water in like that, everything goes in the middle. So far, so good. Just need an iron golem and a hopper. Picking up the items from this farm. I thought long and hard about this, and long and even harder about this, and I think for now, maybe, I might probably regret this one, but I think for now, I will just drop a hopper right down there, have a chest, and then anytime I need the drops or anything, just swim underneath the farm. Maybe. The iron farm kind of has a problem, guys. We will talk about that another time, though. Anyways, this time, iron golem time. I intentionally left the ceiling nice, wide, and open so we can get this iron golem in up here because the iron golem. Oh, the iron golem. For some reason, the slime hate the iron golem. Oh, what? No way that's the first time I made one of those.
No way.
Alright, well, that's weird. But anyways, iron golem friend, you stand there and live there forever. All I need to do is close that gap up, put the ceiling on, put the candles in, and we're good to go. I was thinking maybe on each tile of this thing, we would do a different color of wool. So then from the sky, it looks like we have like these 4 giant cube colors. I don't know. I feel like it could be cool. All right, so the very final piece of wool right there, and now the innovation. So for slime to spawn on the surface in the swamp, all we need is a light level of less than 7. And, I mean, to be in the right Y range, which 63, yeah, that's definitely fine. But anyways, the light level. We need it to be less than 7, but more than 0. You see, if we have it 0 all over the place, then other things, like creepers and skeletons, will spawn. My thinking here with this one was candles. You see, if I put candles down, like 3 candles right there, and light them, this is going to light up this area a little bit. There's going to be 9, and then this is going to be 8. And so, unfortunately, the ring around the candles and on top of the candles, it's not spawnable. With a little bit of testing, I found out that if I were to place 3 candles on the 3rd block out diagonally on every single side of this thing, that does a good job at raising the light level, but it still wouldn't be perfect. You see, parts of this thing, like way back here, will get really, really dark. To fix that, a couple more candles. We do 2 right there in the corner, and then we go ahead and do 2 in every other corner too, and then we're getting there, but it is still a little dark, like right here. And to fix that problem, line up with the middle, turn around, put them right on this wall, 2 more right there, light those, and it'll be perfect. The candles are cheap, easy to get, and with the candles placed just like this and lit everywhere, the light level is literally perfect. With these candles placed in here and lit everywhere, once I close up that one corner final piece of the wall, it's gonna be perfect in here for slimes, and only slime. And that's it. That's the innovation right there. Now I think it was Il Mango that had a pretty cool brown mushroom idea, which is great, and that definitely works too. But brown mushrooms, you gotta plant them and like wait for them to grow. The candles like this, I mean, you lose a tiny bit of spawning space, but like for the most part, it shouldn't be a problem. Especially, oh no, I'm full. Anyways, put these blocks back, and that was saying, with one of these slime farm tiles built, you should be good. Like, it'll be a lot of slime. You AFK up in the air up there, but with 4 of these things built, or 3, 4 or 3, still can't decide, but with 4 or 3 of these things built, oh, it's gonna be beautiful. Now for this cool little contraption to actually be able to kick in a high gear, we're gonna need to give it some space. That's what I'm gonna try and accomplish while working on the other models of this farm today. As you can see here, I've got quite a bit of work to do. The first things first, dirt blocks. I'm gonna need way more dirt blocks. I have nowhere near enough. This thing is expensive. The C4R Super farm today, and I'm going to have to construct not 1 more, but actually 3 more platforms. Except, it's actually kind of only 2. because of my positioning of this farm, this platform that I'm standing in right here, or what will become one, is like pretty much good. So at least there's that. You know, from an environmental standpoint, what I'm doing today is, like, terrible, actually. Aren't swamps, like, one of the protected ecosystems or something? Like, vital for life? Whoops. But in the name of sweet, sweet profits, it is a sacrifice I'm more than willing to make for the swamp. I built the platforms, then it's time for the walls. I'm gonna need walls all the way around this thing. I'm gonna try and do it all with lime wool too, but we'll see. Oh, it's you. Alright, well, unfortunately, I'm all the way out of lime wool. I definitely have enough to finish it. I'll just have to go back to the base and get it. So let's switch gears. Maybe we'll put the candles in next. And then, of course, after getting all of the candles in, I need to run around and make sure I light all of the candles too. I mean, if they're just sitting there, I'm not going to do any good, right? After that, we'll place a couple more blocks. Then we'll go ahead and remove a little bit more water. We'll place a couple more fiery blocks down and one block that is very, very fiery. Fence gate, fence gate, fence gate. All over the place. A little bit of water. A tiny, tiny bit of lava. And finally, last but not least, a little bit more water. Now, at this point in the build, I'd like to take a break and do something a little bit different. We're making really, really good progress. However, I need to link this thing up to the main base. I'm running low on supplies, like this stuff. What I want to do is take the exact coordinates of the middle, which is going to be that right there, then go over to the Nether and link this thing up to the Nether hub. That way we have an easier way back and forth, and also, I can easily, like, get more materials. In theory, this part should be pretty simple. We might have to do a little bit of Nether portal adjusting at the very end of the project today, but that's no big deal. Over here inside of the Nether, because of some extensive work that we did earlier on, I think we might already have the tunnel basically carved out. As I climb up this ladder, it's time for some quick math. 3,400, I think, was the exact number. 3,400 divided by 8, that's gotta be, doing it in my head, 425, I think. And then the other number, which is 2392, oh, that's so easy. That is definitely 299 divided by 4. So what is that, 425, which is, 425 is this way. And then 299, which is like, I guess a little bit off of this hallway, but this won't be bad. 425 should be right about here. Oh, I passed it a little bit. It should be right about here, actually. Okay, so we'll build this hallway coming right off of this spot right here. Maybe go down this way. I think it's this way, right? 299. That's where I need to go, right? Yeah, this way. This way. This reminds me vividly, very, very vividly of the island survival seed inside of the Nether. But anyways, 299, just about 20 more blocks, and I set up a small little room. 299, or 300. There we go. This spot right here. Let's build a portal now. Block, block, light the portal, go through the portal, and a big drum roll, please. Because we should be dropped right in the middle of our farm. Yes, yes, yes. You steal a little bit of my wool. Fine, fine. Haha, but we're here. I'll go ahead and move that later. Before I move this, though, it's time to go back over to the base and grab the rest of the supplies and do the build. Let's do this. And so, one good hefty bit of farm building later, who's ready for the big reveal? So the slime farm today, from a distance, it looks so cool. Like, I don't know what it is about just simple, like colorful builds, but I love the chef's kiss. It's like perfect. It's so cool looking. Now, from the sky, where we will usually see it, it's gonna look something like this, which honestly gives me the idea. Like, what if I were to take this concept, and we have 4 colors down, there are 16 colors total. What if I were to, like, do this again and again and again and again, and essentially cover the whole swamp with, like, giant colorful squares? It would definitely be overkill when it comes to a slime farm, but, like, aesthetically, it'd be at a pinnacle. But it doesn't stop there. My friends, I think you will be impressed with me because Nether side, check it out. I actually went ahead and got the whole hallway in. The only thing that I'm missing over here is like a couple torches on the wall, but that's no big deal. This is connected up to the Nether hub all the way. Overworld side again, we're gonna have to actually take this portal down now because this portal, we're gonna have to relocate it, and hopefully when I relocate this thing, it'll just be linked up like before. Didn't think about that. And then, oh, sweet brown wool that the portal so viciously stole from me. Well, there we go. So over here inside of the farm, this is what we're looking at. A farm that definitely works, and look at how close I got. So close, but so far. I actually ran all the way out of lime wool, which in hindsight definitely makes sense because I built that whole creeper farm out of lime wool. But yeah, over here, we'll finish that one up in a second. And then over here, same exact thing. Everything is like basically good, ready to go. If I ever need into this farm, I could just like break the ceiling, break it back in because I will not be leaving a way open. Over here, I was kind of like waiting for you guys to come back so we could do the final iron golem together. Oh, this is so sweet. And then finally cap this whole build off with a little bit more tinted glass. Now, if you want to build this farm in your world, I highly recommend the step-by-step tutorial card on screen. Watch it after this episode. But one thing to note is this is tinted glass, not plain old glass. You don't need to do the glass or anything like that, but if you do plain old glass, your farm will not work. Speaking of work, does this thing work? Well, so here's the thing. When you're too close to the farm, the mobs won't spawn. However, I don't know if you caught the end of the time lapse, but right at the end, the mobs were starting to spawn, which is pretty cool. 100%. I wasn't far away from this farm for long enough, though, so we're gonna need to talk about AFK. The proper spot to AFK above this farm, 80 blocks directly, straight above this farm. Oh, the iron golem turned over there. This iron golem turned. That could mean nothing, but it also could mean that a slime spawned. Oh, it's so cool. Already, like, climbing up above this farm. Look at how good it looks. Guys, I think we need to come back and build the world's biggest slime farm, right? Anyways, 80 blocks straight up in the air above the middle of this farm. There we go. By going so high up in the air, we should hopefully cut out a lot of the cave spawns and also a lot of the surface spawns. Now, I'm planning on AFKing by this farm, but probably not AFKing overnight. Like, I'll put a bed up here. And in fact, check this out. So I brought even more tinted glass up here. I figured just because tinted glass kind of like, you know, it like duplicates the amount of glass that you have. One glass turns into 2. I'll build a part of this platform out of tinted glass and then maybe like cyan wool or something. That could look good. So look, for now, I'm gonna leave it small. If we come back and expand the slime farm, which maybe, it's very enticing, but if I do, I'll end up expanding the platform, moving it a little bit. Nether portal, laminated away up and down. With this handy little friend set up here, light this thing, go into it, and hopefully it relinks. Nether side, we are beautiful, we're golden. Okay, that works. Overworld side, beautiful, and very golden. Oh, it's perfect, it's sweet. Now, and hopefully I'll be able to land on this thing, but now, the very final thing that I need to do is dig my way back down, get rid of this ugly pillar, definitely don't want this here, sleep, and then that's it. Alright, so, big test number 1, can I successfully land on this platform? It is a little bit small, but, oh, not a problem at all, and maybe test number 2, we make it a little bit more circly, right? Add these corners in. Third things third, maybe a couple extra blocks over here, and then fourth things fourth. To use this farm, all I need to do is stand around up here and watch. Look at that iron golem right there. Its head is turned and angry. That means it definitely sees something over there. Over here on this side, the same exact thing. It's looking down. It definitely sees something. And over there, oh, it sees it too. The farm, definitely 100%. It's working already. Oh, it's so amazing. Now, obviously, I haven't AFK'd for very long. Ooh, that was painful. I haven't AFK'd for very long, but I need to see it. I gotta check it down here and see. All right, it's coming in. This one is the one that has been running the least amount of time, and that shows. This one over here, anything new? A little bit of new, and then finally, right over here. Oh, I'm so happy. Finally, right over here. Yes, a little bit more new too. The plan is pretty simple. In between episodes, I AFK at our marvelous, brand new, colorful slime farm. When we come back, I reap in the profits and I show them all off to you. With the farm done, dusted, and built, the final thing I need to talk about today is the comment of the day. Do you see this? Because I won't ever be able to unsee it. Our barn that we built last episode, yeah, our barn's got a mustache. It's beautiful. Patron gang, big thank you. Medical Boomstick, Swoopy Loopers, Noodle Pork, and Bill Dubby. I appreciate the support. For early episodes, check out my Patreon, link below. For Slime Farm Step by Step, check out this beautiful tutorial, card on end card. Like, subscribe, and I'll see you next time with the beginning of this week. Goodbye, everyone.